Hello, hello, hello. Come on in here. Come on in here. I have some updates. Come on in here. Like, share, and subscribe. Happy hump day. Ciao. It ain't looking good for the kid. Come on in here. Come on in here. Border Caesar Tom Holman said, listen, Kilmar Garcia, let me see, Kilmar Abrego Garcia. He's at home. You know, a lot of people said, bring Kilmar home. Tom said he is at home. He is at home. He's at home. He's from El Salvador. That is his home. What are you talking about? Come on in here, like the video, like, share, and subscribe. Come on in. Come on in. Let's talk about some things. Come on in. Come on in. You know. Anybody in here from New York? Let me know. Stand up if you're from New York. Come on in. Come on in. New York is giving Trump the business when it comes to rounding up these illegal immigrants. Come on in. New York, like, listen, we hear what you saying, but we ain't trying to hear what you saying. New York is not cooperating with the Trump administration right now when it comes to rounding up illegal immigrants. Yeah. And the Trump administration is not here for that. They are not here for that. Come on in, like the video, double tap the screen. Double tap the screen. New York, let me know. Are you from New York? Are you in New York? Let me know in the chat. New York is a sanctuary city. Those are, so a sanctuary city is like one of the cities within the U.S. that pretty much protects the illegal immigrants. Like, so they not going to be all that cooperative, you know, if you come rolling up in there, asking them questions, requesting for them to help to locate people who are undocumented. Basically, you're going to be talking to the wall if you think you're going to get some help from the law when you go into these cities that are classified or identified as sanctuary cities. So New York is one of them. So recently, Mayor Adams, is his name? Is he his first name Eric? Is he Eric Adams? New York Mayor Adams. New York Mayor Adams wrote an executive order that says that ICE have clearance to go inside of Rikers Island to basically apprehend, to take illegal immigrants. Because right now in our legal system, like in our jails, prisons, things like that, we have illegal immigrants. There are illegal immigrants currently in our jail systems. Trump's like, listen, maybe we can kind of get them on out of here, make room for maybe other people, but let's see if we can go inside of these jails, prison systems, and identify these people who should not be here. So, starting with New York, Mayor Adams wrote an executive order that says that ICE can go into Rikers. Well, everybody was not here for that. Everyone was not here for that. So other public offices there, other public off. Let me see who went against him. Let me see who went against him, because there is right now it's pending litigation by the courts to allow for ICE to go into Rikers to round up these people who are affiliated with gangs. MS-13, the Trend Agua, that particular gang. The Trump administration wants to go into Rikers and identify anybody who's in there who may be affiliated with those two gangs, because they want to get them up out of here. They're like, listen, they can finish out their sentence, but when they're done, we want access to them. We want to be able to apprehend them and send them to wherever we want to send them to. Likely CCOT. Maybe Guantanamo Bay, but likely CCOT. So Mayor Adams of New York is like, cool, I'm good with that. I'm all for that. I will write an executive order for that, which he did. But other officials, the city council within New York, filed a lawsuit to stop ICE from doing that. So the Trump administration, Tom Holman, who's the border Caesar, he's like, listen, why aren't you all cooperating with us? We're trying to clean up these streets. Did you all know that recently there was a big bus where 27 illegal immigrants was indicted in New York, and they were a part of that Trend Agua gang? 6 of them are still out there. And this was the first time a RICO charge had been attached to like a large roundup of illegal immigrants. They put a RICO on them. Look that up. In the state of New York. 27 illegal immigrants that were a part of the Trend Agua gang. They got hit with a RICO, as well as they were charged with sex trafficking, drug trafficking, murder for hire. A lot of weapons were seized, and they rescued victims of sex trafficking. Yes, that all happened. I don't know if all the mainstream news outlets are reporting on it, but this is what I learned. And as far as Kilmar Garcia, Tom Holman said, listen, stop chanting, send Kilmar home, send Kilmar home, send Kilmar home. He said, listen here, Buttercup, that man is already at home. So don't ask. He's at home. He's at home. You sound crazy, because he is at home. El Salvador is at home. And he said, why they keep talking about he didn't have due just and this. He said, that's an MF lie. He did. He went before 2 immigration judges, and they found him they found him affiliated with with sex trafficking, drugs, gang affiliates with the MS-13. He was like, so this part about how they didn't charge him, he didn't get due process and all that. He said that's not true. He said that is not true. He said even if that man were to come back here today, he would just get sent back. He would get sent back, or he would go inside of a jail. But either way, he would not be in Maryland at the crib with his wife and baby with his heels kicked up. So you might as well accept it. Like, listen. He said, play ain't coming home. He is home. He looked at the camera. Listen, that man is home. He is home. He's home. He's home. He said that man he's a gang member. He's a wife beater. He's a trafficker. He's like, why you want him here? Why do you want him here on these streets? Why is the state of New York fighting ICE, fighting the Trump administration to apprehend these people who have done horrible things? Let me read off these charges again. Remember, they just rounded up 27 illegal immigrants and hit them with a RICO charge. 27 illegal immigrants indicted in New York. They were affiliated with the Trend Agua gang, and there are 6 more that are still out there that they need to get. They were hit with the RICO charge, sex trafficking, drug trafficking, murder for hire. See, there's a lot of weapons seized, and they rescued sex trafficking victims. So they're confused as to why the state of New York do not want to allow for them to send these people back home because their home isn't here. So he's hoping very soon a judge will make a verdict on the situation, because the city council in New York filed a suit. They put a hold on it. They filed, I think they filed a suit. They filed a lawsuit to stop ICE. Y'all know this Trump administration, they get a lawsuit filed against them probably about every week. The state of California alone, the last I knew, got 15 going against them. California alone has 15 lawsuits against the Trump administration. I don't know how many total they have, but that's a lot of lawsuits. So New York just filed, I'm sure, another one, because I'm sure there were probably other lawsuits on the books. But this is where we're at with that. So he was like, even if right now we can't put them on that spirit flight, that one-way spirit flight to CCOT, we can still round them up. So they're putting them in detention centers. The number one and 2 location for the detention centers, as far as like the states where most of them are, number 1 is Texas, and number 2 is Louisiana. So right now, because they're rounding up so many illegal immigrants, they're kind of starting to struggle with finding a place to house them. They're struggling to find a place to house them all. So you have some businesses that are like leaving their industry to go into the business of housing illegal immigrants. I read over the weekend that where someone compared it to like Amazon, where they're trying to get the system efficient enough to where as quickly as they round up immigrants, they're able to quickly put them on a flight to send them wherever they're sending them to. Because right now, it's like they can get them and put them in a detention center, but they're stuck there because they keep getting halted by these lawsuits. It's like it's putting a stop to the progression, the movement. So remember, there was a time where like a lot of times like you would hear talks of like prison systems and that being a moneymaker and prisons popping up here, there. Well, now that's been replaced with detention centers. So now the government is now putting in a lot of money into detention centers instead of prisons, but detention centers. So in these detention centers, these people will also have like their children with them too, because some people are being picked up with their kids. So you have some detention centers, it's like a family one where there's kids there too. And then you may have some where there's not kids. But there's just these different detention centers popping up. So remember, I talked about Amazon. Think about Amazon and all these hubs. Amazon got all these different hubs, these warehouses. Amazon, the orders come in just as quickly as they come in, they go out. So this is the concept when it comes to the rounding up of the illegal immigrants. This is what the government is trying to do, because they're getting so many illegal immigrants, like they're rounding them up so quickly to where it's like they're starting to have a struggle with like where they're going to house them. So that's the problem. And that's why the Trump administration have complained a lot about, you know, the court system stepping in because it's interfering. The court system stepping in because it's interfering with their process with rounding them up and shipping them out. So the border Caesar, Tom Holman, he did a press conference and said, yes, right now we're at a pause. We're unable to ship out, put them on flights, wherever. We can't do it right now. But that has nothing to do with us being able to round them up. We're able to do that. Oh, we're able to do that. So they're like, listen, we're still coming for you, but you're just going to be housed in a detention center, an immigration detention center. So, Holman also said, let me see, there was something else that he said. He threw out some numbers. He said 4,000 people. He said there was roughly since the Trump administration, you all, there's been roughly about 68,000 illegal immigrants arrested or detained. So remember I said they're picking them up and then they're putting them in detention centers. That number is 68,000. So some of them have already left and went, you know, to wherever. But then you still have a lot of them that are still here. A lot of them are still here. And there's over, and just as people try to cross the border to come here, there's been over 4,000 deaths. So it's pretty dangerous for people as they try to come to the U.S. Like they put themselves in danger. A lot of them they're on foot. You know, you see it on the news. Like that's a long, and I'm a walker. Y'all know I be doing my walk and talk. That'd be about a little over three miles. That don't be I don't know how many miles. Them people they be putting the miles on them sandals. They be putting the miles on them Crocs. And a lot of people aren't surviving the journey. A lot of people aren't surviving the journey. The 4,000 number of people who have died, it's a historical number. That's the highest number it's been. And there's over 250,000 of people who have, who's, as a result of people crossing over and bringing in fentanyl, there's over 250,000 of Americans who have died. So when we talk about immigration, illegal immigrants, it's tied also to the whole epidemic behind fentanyl epidemic, because a lot of people are bringing in drugs into the U.S. So Trump's like, yo, like if I can impact the borders with the people coming in, I can impact the drugs coming into our country. So he's hitting them like both ways, right? No illegal immigrants, minimum drugs. Drugs going to somehow, you know, it's going to circulate. But if you cut it off at the border, it's going to kind of reduce the amount that's coming into our country year over year, which will result in fewer deaths year over year. That's the goal. Right now, Trump says at the border, the success rate is about 99%, where people aren't able to get past. That's pretty good. And I think the reason why it's not 100%, because he was like, there are some people, rightfully so, that should cross the border. So he's pretty proud with his number. He said right now his numbers are better than what they were when it comes to border control. They're better than what they were during his first administration. So he's quite proud of the efforts that he's put in to closing off borders to stop illegal immigrants from crossing over. Oh, and by the way, Trump said, what's this popping off that a lot of people are upset about? He said they're making us a lot of money. And to date, we've lost about $2 trillion a year because of tariffs. So he said the negotiations are going quite well. So sit tight. That's his message. Sit tight. The negotiations centered around tariffs are going well. It's over 60 countries that he's having conversations with in regards to to tariffs. So it's going the way he planned. Canada, that's still a shaky one, but there's conversations that are being had. They haven't revealed any specifics. As far as like what's been said on either side, but right now both sides have their teams in place. Trump still has I think I last saw it at 245% tariffs on them. So I don't know if it went back down to the 145%. But whatever he had it at, it's still there. And China, I might have said Canada, China still has their tariffs at the amount that they had on us. Because it's like they kind of both keep raising their tariffs on us. So as of today, I'm not quite sure exactly what the numbers are when it comes to the tariffs from both sides. Maybe someone can put it in the chat. But they haven't come to an agreement yet. Please like the video, like, share, and subscribe. So, what do you think about the idea of Kilmar not coming back? And the Trump administration saying, hey, he did have due judge. He did talk. He went before two immigration judges. And their verdict was he was a gang member. So here's the thing when they said in the paperwork. So some of you all may be aware, like in his paperwork, it said that he was not to go back to El Salvador. So he said, the border Caesar, Tom Holman, he was like, okay, yes, it said that. But listen up. At the time when it said that, the situation was different. The gang that he said he was running from, that gang is no longer there. It doesn't exist anymore. So that's not a factor as far as with his safety being there because of a gang. It's not there anymore. And then President Bukele, he's the president of El Salvador, he's cleaned the streets up there. So right now, El Salvador, according to President Bukele, is the safest country in, I think, in South Latin America, somewhere wherever the region, wherever his country is. He's saying El Salvador is the safest of the countries. So he's cleaned the streets up. So he's like, why would I let him out to wreak havoc in the streets when we cleaned it up? We're not doing that. So he's saying, hey, we're not letting him out. We're not sending him back to the U.S. And the U.S. is saying, we're not requesting for him either. Even though it's out of our control, we're also not requesting for him to come back. We're not advocating for him to come back because from the paperwork, he's rightfully there. He's rightfully there. He is not the man that people try to portray him to be. And that's on that. So when y'all say bring him home, Holman says he is home. He's home. El Salvador is home for Kilmar Garcia. I truly believe that is where he is going to be. I don't think he's coming back because even if another leader come in and replace Trump, they don't have the ability to make President Bukele send him back. Because it's really up to President Bukele if he wants to send him back. And he's saying no. He's saying no. It's out of the U.S. control. Now, the judges had ordered Trump and his administration to facilitate the return of Kilmar. But facilitate meaning like you can pick up the phone and say, hey, Mr. President Bukele, you think you can send Mr. Garcia back? Can you put him on the next flight back to Maryland, the United States? And then President Bukele can say, no, I can't do that. And then the U.S. will be like, oh, okay. Y'all, that's facilitate. All the U.S. can do, they can't, listen, they ain't no shot caller outside of the U.S. like that. All they can do is make the request, and Bukele has the power to say yay or nay. And that man is saying nay with his chest. He said no, because had he not left our country, he'd already would have been locked up. The only reason why he wasn't locked up before he don't have a record over here is because he left. But we were aware of the shenanigans that he was on. He just got up out of here before we was able to roll up on him. So now that we got him, we ain't finna let him, we ain't cutting him loose. So you all, I do not see that man coming back to the USA. And even if wifey want to be with him and go to El Salvador, he locked up. CCOT ain't got no visitors. They ain't got no conjugal visits popping off there. That's some U.S. stuff. You just gonna have blue balls everywhere else in the world, because I don't think on any other countries be doing no conjugal visits. That's a U.S. thing. So sis might as well go and get them papers together and file for her divorce, because the looks of it, it don't look like he coming home. And from my understanding, CCOT is your last stop. You don't get out of there. Like, that's on that. It ain't no, all right, I got to do this 5-year bid, then I'm coming home. That ain't what I learned in the documentary. Y'all can let me know. I know dang well you ain't getting no visitors. You ain't getting no letters. Y'all, it ain't gonna be no collect phone calls. What else they ain't got popping off? You ain't getting no ramen noodles. You ain't getting a few dollars so you can buy you some ramen noodles, some chips. Oh, with that commissary? It ain't no commissary. It ain't no commissary at the CCOT. You getting them 3 meals. You getting them 3 meals a day. And they not gonna overfeed you either. Everybody waist finna be snatched. That Obama snatch waist, that size 26 waist, everybody getting a 26 waist at CCOT. Because it ain't no overeating there. Ain't no overeating there. You finna be bald-headed and skinny. You finna be bald-headed and skinny. Because if you seen the CCOT documentary, ain't nobody got nan strand. I told you, as soon as you get off of that Spirit flight, you getting a haircut by that barber that's the worst one in the shop that don't know how to do edge ups. Y'all know that one that be the worst in the shop and be the main one talking about, I can hook you up. I got you. I'm free. That's why his chair always open. That's the barber who doing the haircuts at CCOT. So you finna have a bald head and a snatch waist, because it ain't no overeating at the CCOT. I don't even know, y'all, what the 3 meals even consist of, but I know it's only 3. I know that. And I know the only color you're wearing is white. You see, I got this white tee, this white shirt. That's white is everybody color there. White is everyone's color. Your drawers, your 1 pair of pants, your 1 t-shirt, everything is white. So you better get into it. Life is real different at the CCOT. Life is real different at the CCOT. And y'all want to know what your little break, your little entertainment is? On Sundays, sitting on the floor, singing Negro spirituals, singing church hymns. I seen it, y'all. Listen. When you locked up and you getting out your cell, it's the little things that you are here for. They be in a cell, I think, all day except for like an hour or something. But I think on Sundays, they can all get together, y'all, and they get in the open area and they be sitting on the floor singing church songs. And they know the words. They know the words. They just be looking like they just is at peace. Everybody know the words to all the church songs. Y'all, it's out there. I'm not even making this ish up. Look it up. Do the CCOT documentary. Life is real different at the sea. Life is real different at the sea. It is different. That's why that's not where you want to go. That's not where you want to go. So I'm pretty sure them inmates at Rikers, they are just praying that the city council continues to fight for them and win. Because remember, the city council in New York have interfered with Mayor Adams' executive order to allow ICE up in there to round them up. They praying to the gods. If they didn't know a God before, they know one now. Ain't nobody trying to go to CCOT. Everybody think they hard until it's time to do some time. Everybody think they hard until it's time to do some time. Them folk, nobody want to go to the sea. Nobody wants to go to the sea. Because they know when you go there, that's it. That's a wrap. Ain't no, oh, my attorney coming through on Wednesday at 2. Ain't no attorney. It ain't no attorney. So, folks better get used to the idea of Kilmar no longer being with us in the USA. Rightfully so. It is what it is. Listen, I'm just reporting the news. I'm just reporting it. I'm just reporting it. I am just reporting it. And I ain't made up nothing that I done said. Now, I done told you what flight they on. I done called. I said they on a Spirit flight. But listen, they do be getting that haircut, though, as soon as they get off the plane. They do be getting that haircut. And it be they do get the haircut, and they only wear white. They only wear white. I have seen the documentary, so I know. Get into it. Get into it. But yeah, Kilmar, like it life's about choices, right? Life's about choices. The United States are like, listen, it's out of our hands. It's out of our hands. Y'all heard President Bukele in the White House a week ago. When he was here, maybe like a week ago. Was it last Monday? I think it was last Monday. He was like, why would I send him back? Like, I don't even want him on our street, so why would I send him back to be on America's street? I want y'all streets to be clean like our streets. El Salvador is like the place to where to strive to be like now. They went from being the worst of the worst to now, according to Bukele, like they the place to be. They the place to emulate. They goals. Y'all know y'all talk about relationship goals. Bukele, the El Salvador is country goals. They are goals. So he was like, I'm not gonna send him back. I'm not sending him back. I mean, he's one of the worst of the worst. It's just, listen, I don't know what to tell you all, but y'all just gonna have to work through them emotions. Them emotions because he's not coming back. So y'all need to find some other questions to ask at the press conference, because Caroline is getting sick of answering them same questions about Kilmar Garcia. I got her one day to probably start cussing. Because the way she looked like she catch an attitude every time somebody bring that man name up. She tired of talking about it. She like, listen, he ain't coming back. Next. He's not coming back. It's a glare on my phone. Y'all hit the like button. How y'all doing? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. It's going down. Become a member today. Become a political honor student. $2.99. Listen, I'm bringing the news to you all. Deadweight said he was adjudicated with 2 separate trials and set for deportation well before this. I don't understand how people do not understand this. Tom Holman said yes, he was set to be deported. He did say that. 2 immigration judges said he need to get up on out of here. Mike Harrison said, I flipped through so many channels and this is the only person making some damn sense. Thank you for being real. Welcome, Mike. I'm glad you found me, because every live I make some damn sense. This is what I do over here. I don't be making ish up. I report the news and I use common sense. It ain't that deep. It's really that simple. Facts over feelings. I'm telling y'all what these folks didn't say. Tom Holman like, listen, I'm not an attorney. I'm just letting y'all know what the rulings are in these situations. Don't argue with me, argue with your mama. He didn't say that part, but that's like the energy that he giving. Y'all know that energy. That's the energy he giving. Like I said what I said. Dice Legendary Warrior says, what do you think about the children born in America from immigrants? You think they should be forced to a nation they've never been or to be adopted here in America? I think just like if, I think that it should follow suit with how it's handled when Americans go to other countries. So say, for example, if me being American, I'm pregnant, I go to Europe. Say I go to Paris, France. I go to Paris, France. I'm pregnant. I so happen go into labor and have my baby over there. Child, is that baby American or is it French? Which one is it? This question. Y'all go ahead and put in the comments. What is my baby? I'm American. I'm over there. I'm on vacation. My water break. I go into labor. I give birth. What is my baby? Is my baby French? Is my baby a citizen of France? Or is my baby American because I'm American? That is how I had to basically kick it to try to understand that my baby would still be American because the birthing mother, myself, I'm American. So my baby is going to follow me regardless of where I give birth to my baby. So in this situation, if it's a Hispanic, say a woman from El Salvador who's here in the U.S., she gives birth to a baby in the U.S. The baby is El Salvadorian because the mother citizenship is El Salvadorian. So it's going to follow that. You all, I challenge you, get on the internet and put the question in there because that's what I did to try to understand what is the citizenship of an unborn child. And that is the logic that I got that returned back. It's following the citizenship of the mother. At best, you can apply for dual citizenship of that baby in that country that you gave birth in. So if I'm in Paris, France, I can apply for a dual citizenship for my baby to see if my baby can get citizenship because I'm like, yo, I gave birth to my baby on your land, but the default is my baby is American. The default is my baby is American because I'm American. That is how it is when you're going to other places. So why can't it be that way here? See, a lot of this is to where it's like other places can have their rules, their laws, their regulations, but when it comes to us, it's like we're not allowed to have them. And I don't get that. Why is it that everywhere else it's no big deal to follow what their rules and guidelines are, but when it comes to our country, we're expected to bend all these rules and make it convenient for everybody? I don't understand. And ultimately, us as our country is taking an L from doing that, from being so accommodative. We're losing money. We're getting all kinds of drugs and violence, gang members in here. Like, it's just, we're getting the worst of the worst. It's almost like we are the catch-all country where everybody else can pick and choose and cherry pick who they want to be citizens or in their country, and then the U.S. get everybody else. That's what it's giving. Look at the crime here. The crime is so bad, it's giving that the worst of the worst comes here. Not the best of the best. The worst of the worst. Why? Because they know they can. They know they can. Previous administration have made them feel comfortable like they can. No. So the baby should be connected to the citizenship of the mother. If the mother is a U.S. citizen, baby a U.S. citizen. If the mother is an El Salvadorian citizen, the baby is an El Salvadorian citizen. So that's how I feel it should be. And from my understanding, when I go online and I research how it works for Americans when we go to other countries, that's my understanding of how it is. The baby is connected to mama. So if mama is American, that baby is American, even though the baby was born in Africa, New Zealand, Afghanistan, India. It's the same. It's the same. So why can't we have that same rule here? I just don't understand why we just gotta not adhere to rules and stuff. But everybody else, all the other countries, can require for people to adhere to rules. I just feel like here in the U.S., it's selective laws and regulations that people want to adhere to. So people don't want illegal immigrants to adhere to the rules of having to come over here legally. But when it's time to raise them on up out of here, people want the administrators of the ICE to adhere to rules and laws that are on the books. Let me repeat that. People have no problem with illegal immigrants coming over here and breaking rules, but they got a problem when it's time to raise them up out of here because they're saying, hey, you're not adhering to the rules and guidelines of people who live here. So you're saying, okay, it's okay to ignore the one that they broke when they came, because many of them broke a law when they came illegally. We gonna skirt all over that. We just gonna skirt all over that. But now that they're here and you want to raise them up out of here, now you want to point out all the rules and regulations that we got on the books that you're saying, Trump, you need to adhere to this. They need to go before the judge. They need to do this. Well, what about this rule that says they need to come over here legally? What about that rule? Well, folks get to stutter and bebopping then. Nobody want to talk about that part, the initial rule that was broken. No. So you can't be selective over what rules and laws and regulations you want to adhere to. Like, you just want to completely just omit the first law that was broken. We just gonna ignore that you came over here illegally at the borders. We just gonna ignore that. But now that you're here, we're going to require for all these laws and things that are in place to for people to follow them, so therefore you can stick around. Like, listen, then I don't be understanding y'all. I don't be understanding, but that's where we are. But that's all right, because Trump done already got them together. He done already got rounded up. What I say, 68,000, and they're still working. 68,000 since he's been in office. What, he got inaugurated January 20th. He's coming up on 90 days. That's a lot of people. And there are a lot more to come. There are a lot more to come. Trump secured the border in a matter of 7 weeks. He did what Biden couldn't do or chose not to do in the 4 years that he was in office. And you know what? The difference is, even underneath like Biden's administration or even Obama's administration, there were talks about securing the border. But the difference is that Trump actually followed through. Get online and see what they were saying. Obama was saying about border control. Because remember, Obama's the one who had them little what do you call them, cages that he would have the kids in. Y'all remember when Obama was in office and there were cages at the borders, and that's what the kids would be put inside of? Who was on the corner picketing for that? Y'all remember that? Trump ain't had put nobody in no cages, but remember that? Remember he had them babies in them cages when they was crossing the border? Yeah, he sure did. A lot of them kids aren't even accounted for, y'all. It's thousands. Like, y'all, it's so many. I don't even have I've done a lot of lives on this channel, you all. A lot of lives. And I've talked about a lot of things. And I've talked about before, like, the numbers of kids who have crossed the border and who cannot be accounted for. These are kids that actually went into the custody of the government, where they had it on file as far as with the address and things where these kids were to be going off to and getting dispersed to, and the information in the documents was incomplete. So they can't even go follow up and go to those addresses that are on record to go find those babies. They can't. They're lost. Y'all, where the kids? True Time says 300,000 kids. But y'all mad at Trump? Them 300,000 kids didn't get lost on his watch. Where the kids? Not only do we want to know where them kids said, we want to know where that white girl that was at Diddy house that he said he adopted during the pandemic. We want to know where she at too. So I want to know where she is. Sidebar. I want to know where she is. Because I ain't seen her since she did that live with all his other kids. So I want to know where the little white girl is. And I want to know where the 300,000+ illegal immigrant kids that came over here. I want to know where they are too. We looking for people. Where they at, y'all? We not gonna be selective on who we looking for. We want all of them. We want all of them, y'all. We want all of them. So who are you really caping for? Who are you really campaigning for? Like, really? Because some of y'all got y'all priorities mixed up. You worried about Kilmar, but ain't said ish about the 300,000 kids that are missing. You ain't said ish about the kids that was put in cages when they was crossing the borders and he had them in cages. Rationalize that in the comments. Trump ain't put nobody kids in the cages. He just said, listen, right now I'm rounding up these adults, but right now I'm working on some laws, so therefore the child can accompany the parent and the child can go back home with the parent. That's what he's done, but he ain't put nobody kids in no cages. There's nobody children that got put in cages on his watch. And this is his second time being in the office. That didn't even pop off the first time he was in the office. Thank you, Anthony Alexander. Y'all like, share, subscribe. This just that ish that I be talking about because people be having selective outrage. People be having selective outrage. They got all the smoke for Trump, but when I bring up the ish that was popping off underneath the Democrats, the Biden administration, the Obama administration, that bull that Kamala was running on, folks don't want to talk about that. Y'all don't want to talk about when Joe Biden was falling off the bike, when he was going up the stairs, when he called himself doing a debate against President Trump. Nobody don't want to talk about that. Y'all don't want to talk about that. All the signs that he wasn't the one to be trying to run a dang thing. Nobody don't want to talk about that. But you got all the smoke for President Trump. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Ain't nobody collectively talking about Biden crackhead son and with the stuff that was on his laptop. Don't get me going. Don't get me going. Y'all know y'all seen them pictures just like I did. Y'all saw those photos just like I did. And I'm sure many of you have seen some compromising photos with his father just like I have. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't tell half of it. You got to tell it all. You got to tell it all. You got to tell it all. And no, people don't want to tell it all. Not when it has to do with that other administration. They don't want to talk about it. It's like that don't even matter. Oh, okay. Well, I ain't trying to hear ish that you trying to say if you don't want to address that. How about that? Until you address that, you can miss me with whatever, all that yin yang. It's going in one. Where was you when he was falling off the bicycle? Where were you when he was falling off the bicycle? That's what I want to know. Where were you? You know you seen him fall off that bike. And they done picked him on up, propped him back up, and put him in front of the camera and told the world that he leading some ish to the pits of hell. So people want to know why I voted for Trump. Well, for starters, I need somebody who's going to be able to stay on the bike and walk going up the stairs and not fall going up them. We're going to start there. Y'all know our country was down bad underneath that previous administration. Virtuous is not the... Yes, the pits of hell. Where else? When I voted for Trump, y'all, we couldn't get no worse than where we were at. We couldn't get no worse than where we at. I voted for change. I voted for better days. And I voted on common sense. Because it hasn't been common sense to have these borders wide open the way they have been for all these years. I've heard people talk about, because of, the borders being so open to where their kids have had trouble getting jobs. You know how you a teenager, you've been a teenager before and you worked a little job at the local fast food restaurant in the area. I have heard parents talk about how their children have struggled to get jobs, like in California. This story was in California. They said because all of the Hispanic kids, they got the jobs. The Hispanic kids, they have the jobs. The American kids, they don't, the job, they taken already. Like the jobs are gone. Yeah. It's out of control. It's out of control. It's crazy, yo. It's crazy. So Tom Holman said, miss me with the bring Kilmar home, because he is home. Miss me with all of that, because I'm not trying to hear what y'all trying to say. Anthony Alexander said, my neighborhood is overwhelmingly turned Hispanic. Crazy. Everything is overwhelmingly turned Hispanic. Like, just about like all communities. Just about like all communities, it's heavily populated with Hispanic. But my thing is, okay, cool. If you here legit, if you're here legally, okay. But if you're not here legally, then that's a problem. And clearly, the vast majority of them, it seems, aren't not here illegally. Going off of 68,000 already apprehended. Because their numbers, as far as their population, I don't think their number is bigger than the Black American population. I don't know. Y'all can let me know, because I think we're about 11 or 12% of the population. What is the Hispanic population in the U.S.? Can somebody put that in the chat? What is the population of the Hispanic community? Because I don't recall their numbers being larger than ours. So if they didn't already rounded up 68,000 and they are still going, baby, will there be enough detention centers? Will there be enough detention centers? JC is King said, my neighborhood is becoming overwhelmingly Hispanic too. I haven't seen it like that in my neighborhood, but I'm sure it has a lot to do with just the zip code, the income for the people in the area, home ownership. So I would imagine that a lot of places where it's apartments, high rentals, you would see that. Apartments, high rentals versus like a community where there's probably mostly homeowners, the numbers probably wouldn't be as high. So in my neighborhood, I don't see a lot of them, but like, my kids like schools or the sports, recreational sports. My sons, play baseball. My daughter, she's a soccer player. I see it, in those environments. So, I mean, yeah, they're everywhere. Okay, fine. But are you here legally? That's just what it comes down to. And if the answer is no, then they gonna tap you on your shoulder and say, let me holla at you. It is what it is. And he ain't discriminating, because I said on my live this morning that he rolling up on the Asians too. He rolling up on the Asians too. It's about 400 of them in California that he rolling up on, trying to revoke their visas. Sure is. They at the Ivy League college and everything. They at what you got, Stanford in California? Mm-hmm. He sure is. I think it's about 400 of them. They getting their paperwork in the mail like, yeah, the day has come. It's time for you to go ahead and raise up. Listen. So don't think it's just Hispanics that's getting sent out, or even like, black people that look like me. It's the Asians too. The Chinese in particular. 400 Chinese. They're all students in Florida. No, I'm sorry, in California. 400 students in California. Yeah. Their visas are at risk. Like, he's like saying, listen, you gotta go. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. Like, that's what he's saying. He's like, listen, you gotta come back the right way. But based on this paperwork or how you're over here, that's come to an end. You've been over here already X amount of time. So we're gonna have to send you on. Yeah, I learned about that this week or this weekend. So get into it. Look online. See what you learn. Y'all don't be making this ish up. It's out there. It is out there. John says, America first. God bless President Donald Trump. Andy says, an illegal immigrant is entitled to the human rights that exist in the country from which they came from. Exactly. And President Bukele said that Kilmar Garcia is entitled to the right to be at CCOT. Because as an El Salvadorian, that's the right he has to be up in that prison when he cut up. And that's where he got him at. Makes sense to me. Let me see. Difference says that's literally his country. Like, it really is. Like, that's why Tom Holman, the border Caesar, is like, listen, y'all, like, he is at home. What are y'all talking about? Bring him home. He is at home. Kim JD72 said, right, I don't understand how people don't get it. I don't understand either. I got a whole bunch of shows on this channel expressing how I don't understand. Expressing how I understand. A lot of people don't get it, but that's all right, because they don't have to get it, because at the end of the day, it's up to President Bukele of El Salvador to say if he can come back to the U.S. And even if President Bukele say, okay, he can come back, the Trump administration is not going to abide by. They're like, well, we don't want to back. You see, it has to kind of go both ways. One has to be willing to send, and one has to be willing to receive. You see how that works? Bukele has to be willing to send him, and President Trump has to be willing to receive him. Bukele is not willing to send him, and President Trump is not open to receiving him. Y'all, I don't know what else there is to talk about. I don't know. I don't know what else there is to talk about. I'm out of words on it. Class of the South said the Maryland man was ordered to leave in 2019. Well, he there now. He had a long run here. I think he came here in 2016, 2017. He was like a teenager when he came. So, I mean, he had a good little run. His son was born here, so for now, based off of the law, the baby's a citizen, American citizen, so I'm assuming the wife got her stuff in order. She's still here, so Difference says you're just making the point more clear as to why he needs to be deported. VHS says if they put a number out to call out immigrants, it would be super fast procedure. If all of us do what we need to do for our country, 1-800 go home. As of the laws that we have in place right now, if you are not, Alexander said you need to run for Congress. These Greetings, Seth. Greetings. Y'all like, share, subscribe. Hit the like button. Just double tap. Let me repeat this information I have for those who are just coming in and joining the live. Welcome. Double tap the screen. Hit the like button. I have a message from you from President Donald J. Trump. Trump said tariffs will make us, the USA, a lot of money. We have lost over $2 trillion a year in tariffs. And that's coming to an end. And he said the negotiations are going great. So no matter what you hear out there, the negotiations are going great. He's having conversations with leaders from different countries all over the world, and it's going the way that he's wanting it to go. The president's border Caesar Tom Holman said, y'all need to get over the idea. Let me say this. Tom Holman says, you need to stop crying over Kilmar Garcia being stuck in El Salvador at the CICOT prison. You need to stop saying bring that man home, because he already is home. I repeat for the people in the back. Border Caesar Tom Holman said, please stop saying bring Kilmar Garcia home. I'm sorry, Kilmar Garcia home, because he is home. He is from El Salvador. He is in El Salvador, and he is at CICOT because that's where President Bukele would like for him to be, based on the criminal activity that he's done during his lifetime. So really, y'all think about it. He's over there in prison. Trump put him on that Spirit flight, that one-way Spirit flight, sent him to El Salvador. Bukele has the right to let him out. It's his country. He can let out whoever he wants to that's in that prison. Garcia is not in that prison still today because of President Trump and his administration. President Bukele has made the decision to keep him in that prison, to even accept him coming to that prison. It's not on Trump anymore. Kilmar Garcia is from El Salvador. He's in his home country. The president of his home country has made the decision to have him detained in their prison in their country. Classes South said, end of story. Listen, that's all I got. Next episode. like what else is it? That man is in his home country, just like many of you may currently maybe in your home country. Like, he's in his home country. He's dealing with the law in his home country. Like, how can Trump control what's popping off with that man in his home country? Like, y'all really think about this. President Bukele came to our country, sat in the Oval Office, and said, it is my decision to have Kilmar Garcia detained at CICOT. This man is a gang member. When he was in El Salvador, before he fled illegally to the U.S., he was affiliated with gang activity. So had we apprehended him then, he would have been locked up. But he left. He came over here. How long he was over here? Almost 10 years. So he came to the U.S., still was doing the absolute most. Our country, our government, president, ICE, they caught up with him. Eventually, the decision was made in 2025 to send him back to his home country. When he got back to his home country, President Bukele agreed that, yes, he need to be off the street because he still ain't got no act right to him. He didn't have no act right to him when he left here, and he didn't have no act right to him when he went over there. So this is where he needs to be. Until he know how to damn act, this is where he needs to be. So I don't know what to tell y'all. Bukele like, I don't know what to tell y'all. Trump like, I don't know what to tell y'all. Tom Hillman like, I don't know what to tell y'all. And Caroline like, listen, y'all got one more time at this press conference to ask me about that man. Like, this is where we're at. How long that man been gone over there and he still ain't king? President Trump, they ain't even giving a dang about the judges who keep saying whatever they keep saying. They ain't listening to them. Every time the judge say, well, what's the update? The last one I gave you? Well, what that mean? He's still in El Salvador at CCOT? I don't know what to tell you, Judge. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what new information you looking for because it ain't in my hands. He's in his home country and they're dealing with him accordingly. They're dealing with him how they choose to deal with him. Period. Next. So every time people tell on Trump and they go back to court, it's the same. That's the dialogue y'all just said. All right then, well, come back in 2 weeks because I'm going to ask you again. Y'all see what's happening? Because this is what's happening. The judges, they really can't do nothing. So to appease the people who are pissed off, they keep saying, all right, then we're going to give them 2 more weeks. They keep extending the length of time for follow-ups because they can't do anything. So they keep extending the length of time just to give the people hope. Y'all, I didn't even know the man was up for impeachment again already this term. Did y'all know this man was up for impeachment? I forgot it. Seeing a hearing with Al Green. Y'all know, remember Al Green? He got kicked out at the Congress thing when Trump was talking and doing his spiel. Al was a black guy who just started cutting up with his cane and they had to get him on out of here. Even his Democrat party, they was confused. I heard Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine said, listen, the plan was we was going to go to that meeting and we was all going to be, we was all going to kind of band together. She was like, we had a plan. Next thing you know, Al Green broke code and he just did his own thing and we was confused because that wasn't the script. You know how you rehearse your ish and you say, okay, well, when they do this, then we going to collectively do this and we going to be Al Green, he done forgot about everything they done rehearsed and went over and how they gonna kind of stand in line and arms locked and talk. They talk. Al Green, he done forgot all about that. He went rogue. Al Green went rogue at the he went rogue. So Al Green, I saw earlier this week, he was at a hearing for an impeachment. Child, I don't know if he was up there. What's the guy, Cory Booker? I don't know if he was up there trying to outdo Cory Booker with the speech, because y'all know Cory Booker talked for 25 hours, and I think they said he didn't even go to the bathroom. I wouldn't even got past an hour without having to go to the bathroom. He didn't even go to the bathroom. So when I seen Al Green up there at an impeachment hearing, and he was talking for a long time, I'm like, damn, like, okay. Is he trying to take the record from Cory Booker? So that's how I came to learn that President Trump was up for impeachment. So I'm guessing they're doing it centered around this situation with Kilmar Garcia, with him being in El Salvador and President Trump, them not facilitating his return. I don't know, because I didn't get past the part of Al Green talking up there, talking in circles. Don't ask me what that man said, y'all. Again, look it up. Don't ask me what that man said. Don't ask me what that man said. But he was there, listen, like, trying to, campaigning for this man, for President Trump to be impeached. This is where we are at. Rissa said 25 hours with the pins on is diabolical. Listen, that man said he was trying to break a record. He had to do what he had to do, Rizzy. He had to do what he had to do. Al Green up there talking about shit. I'm about to break the record. I'm about to break the record. Yes, true story, y'all. True story. You can't make this ish up. It's out there. If y'all want to know information, it's out there. If some of y'all don't know stuff, it's just because you don't want to know, because the information is out there. It is out there. It's out there. So right now, don't hold your breath on Kilmar Garcia returning home. Cinco de Mayo is around the corner, so it's safe to say he will not be here celebrating Cinco de Mayo 2025. Guess his wife can have a drink for him. But y'all, really low-key, I'm wondering if she ain't really disappointed that he gone, because he was putting hands and feet on her. Listen, she said it. It's in the paperwork. She said that man was over there putting his hands on. It's in the paperwork. She tried to get a restraining order. Kilmar Garcia's wife said that he was over there beating on her. She tried to get a restraining order. She reported him like twice. She sure did. In 2021, she reported him twice. The only reason why she didn't get the restraining order is because she didn't show up to the court date. She didn't show up to the court date. That's why the restraining order was not granted. But it's documented in detail the incidents that took place on 2 occasions where he put hands on her, where she had bruises. Yeah. Kim JB72 says there is police paperwork about him beating her and she was scared of him. So I'm really wondering if she really want him to come back, or if she just talking a good game just because to appease people. But if somebody didn't put hands and feet on me, I'm not. Yeah. How do you miss somebody like that if when they are around, that's what they're doing to you? They're terrorizing you. Like, really make it make sense. That's not somebody you want to be around or have your child around. So she really got a peace of mind really right now with him gone, to be honest. She really got a peace of mind, because I'm pretty sure that after 2021, he didn't stop abusing her. I'm pretty sure it still continued. She just never reported it again. How often do people who get abused do not report the incidents? How often do people get abused stay with their abuser? The most dangerous time is when you're trying to leave. When a woman is trying to leave, that's the most dangerous time, when you're in a domestic situation. So the Lord answers prayers. Who knows what this woman's prayer was? Who knows what this woman's prayer was? Because if her prayer was for him to be removed from her life, he was removed. He was removed. Because sometimes we can pray for things, and the point is our prayer being answered. The details of it, with that said, that's none of my business. My prayer was answered. The hows, we can't control that. It's putting it out there in the atmosphere. So given that this woman was being abused, I'm not going to sit here and believe that this woman wasn't prayerful and hopeful that one day this man would leave her life. Leave her life before she lost her life. This man was dangerous. She knew that. Prayer works. I surely doubt that she praying for his return. Kim said, right, I think she prayed for this to get him out of her life. When I'm telling, come on, who knows about prayer? Because the details around your prayer being answered, that has nothing to do with you. You just have to put it out there. You put it out there in the universe. You put it out there. The rest will just take care of itself. I'm not going to believe that this woman did not have a prayer for that man to be removed from her life. And he has been removed from her life. What it's looking like is forever. Kim said the tongue is a powerful tool. So a week ago, it really kind of dawned on me when I learned about that he was abusing her. And I got to thinking, I'm like, I really wouldn't be surprised if this woman low-key is really not wanting him to come back home. Because he's so far, listen, look how good God is. He's so far removed from her to where she got the perfect reason to not even go visit that fool at prison. They don't accept prisoners at CCOT. Look at God. Look at God. She can't even go up there. So he can't even get mad at her for not coming to see him or bring the baby because he at the sea. And the sea don't allow visitors. The sea don't allow visitors or phone calls. Look at God. He removes her. The Lord removed that man from her life without taking his life. All he did was just removed him from her life. But Kilmar still has breath in his lungs. That woman's prayer probably wasn't for him to just be unalive. Her prayer was just remove him from my life. So he got removed from her life while he still has a heartbeat. And he got moved to a place to where she can't even get to. It don't get no better than that. So now she know her baby dad, her husband, he's still breathing. He still got a heartbeat because she didn't want him gone. But she just wanted him to be removed from her life, to stop terrorizing her. That was the prayer. Like, just, Lord Jesus, I just want them to be removed from me. I'm tired. I can't do it anymore. Just remove them from me, my child. I want them to just be good, but good somewhere else, somewhere far away. Kim says, if you look at her when she's talking, she's checked out. This isn't her fight. Someone is threatening her, I believe. That was the energy I got when I saw her at the last press conference I saw. It was just something that just came across me, that question if she really wanted that man back or if she was doing for the sake of her life. Because remember, he's gang affiliate. So if she would, or so I was looking at it from a place of maybe she's doing what she feels she has to do to show face for the gang, to show that she's doing her part with trying to bring him home. So she's showing like, y'all, I'm getting out here. I'm saying whatever. I'm being the dutiful wife to try to bring him home. I'm doing my part. But deep down, she don't want him to come home. Every time she go do a press conference, she thinking like, oh, Lord, I hope these people ain't listen to a dang thing I'm saying. I hope these women, now that they know the real deal, that they picking up what I'm not saying. I hope these women out here, are picking up what I'm not saying. Because the men might miss it. But me as a woman, and I've never been in a domestic situation, but I've had people close to me who have, so I understand what it is to want to pray someone out of your life because you're fearful of leaving. So you just hope that they're just removed. That's the prayer. Lord, please just remove them. I can't go anywhere, but can you remove them? I can't run. I have nowhere to go. But can you just remove them? That hit me when I last laid eyes on that woman. I'm a woman. And I hope that many other women around the world felt that too. They picked up what she couldn't say. That's what I did. Class of South said, no woman should be used for abuse from anyone. Riza says, or she should do a GoFundMe and see how many people really care if it's just politics. She ain't done a GoFundMe yet, but what would the GoFundMe go towards? What, paying the attorneys that she has? Because, I mean, I don't know. Just curious on that one. So this is the situation. And then, you know, when the state senator of Maryland went to see him, he told the state senator, you know, that he had moved, they had moved him from CCOT to another prison that wasn't as bad, which I believe they only did that because there's so much attention on him being at CCOT. So they wanted to just put him in a different facility that just wasn't as harsh of conditions. Just to be more cautious on making sure that he's good, because people are just looking for him to not be because of the environment he's in. So I think they strategically moved him. So he said the prison that he's at right now, he didn't say the name. He just said it is better talking to someone outside of the prison was that state senator that came to visit him. And at that time, his request was like, he just wanted to talk to his wife. Oh, now you miss her and you want to appreciate her after you've been knocking her upside the head? Y'all know how it go. Now you miss her and want to appreciate her because you're gone? Okay. Yeah, so that's who the one who he abused, that's who he talking about, who he want to talk to. That's the one who he want to talk to, the one who he's been abusing. My. Oh, yeah. You see the value in her now, huh? You see the value in her now. What they say, you gonna miss me when I'm gone. You gonna miss me when I'm gone. You gonna miss me when I'm gone. Do y'all think that's what's happening? He missing her because she's gone. She's not there. So now he's missing her. He appreciating her because she's not there. Because we sure ain't seen on no camera none of his boys or nobody on camera advocating for him. We just only seen the wife. We ain't seen nobody else advocating for him. Where your friends at, player? Like, I have not seen anybody else advocating for his return. Just his wife. Oh, okay. I wonder what's that about. AG Pam Bondi said his wife, she should be happy that he gone because she said she and her baby safer now that he's no longer here. That's what she said. Kim said it's a perfect opportunity for her to get him out her system. Yeah. Time heals all, right? Dee Dee said, and his wife refused to comment about the abuse. That's what I peeped too, Dee Dee. I never heard her say anything about those abuse allegations because after I heard about it, I'm like, wow, that's interesting. I wonder what is she going to say after this? Because she been out here advocating for him. So now that that's come out, I wonder what is she going to say? And I didn't see. Then that, and after that, that is when I saw her standing beside that state senator. And that was when I picked up the energy and I felt like she could possibly not really want him to return home. Geronda said he wants to talk to her to control her movements. So think about it. If he on this type of tip with control, he probably going crazy wondering what she doing. Because a lot of time an abuser is very insecure. They accuse you of doing things that you're not doing. They delusional, like they just be just off they rockers. So I can believe that he is there wondering what she is doing, who she is doing, where his child is. He don't have a peace of mind. That man ain't sleeping. He don't have a peace of mind. So I can believe that he would want to talk to her to try to see what she doing. Because he's insecure. He got trust issues. Look at God. Look at God. Look at God. Geronda said, players' friends are hiding from deportation. Right. They like, no need in us both being at the sea. Dee Dee says she acted kind of sketchy and worried about talking. Yes, that woman is fearful because she's probably afraid of saying the wrong things. Folks, all eyes are on her. But that's all right. I mean, because eventually it'll die down and she ain't going to have to be on the camera and all there like that. And he going to still be in El Salvador at whatever facility he at. He might make his way. They might end up taking him back to CCOT after the heat come off and people stop questioning about, questioning the city, asking a lot of questions about his whereabouts. They might end up sending him back. They possibly temporarily got him wherever they got him just to kind of to the, the smoke calm. Dee Dee says, is she from the USA or El Salvador? I don't know. I never heard any talks about where she came from. So, I don't know. They didn't deport her. She's still here. So, my guess is that all her all her stuff is in order. But I don't know. I don't know really what her status is. I don't know what her status is. But I know from what I learned, I think he came over at like 16. Everton said from Brazilian. So she's from Brazil. Yeah, he came over as a teenager. So he likely, I guess, met her maybe in the U.S. Yeah, so who knows? But he clearly where he need to be. Look, he clearly where he need to be. Jim said Trump needs to send the worst of America to El Salvador. They too comfortable in prison here. Yeah, I told you they need to run them ass like scared straight. Risa says she probably from there or here illegally. Yeah, or legally. Gar said she misses him so badly. Send her off too. I bet you she don't miss him that bad to be going over there. Because she... I don't know if the facility he at now, if he can get visitors, because I know CCOT you can't get visitors, but he's no longer at CCOT. At least when the senator went there, he wasn't at CCOT. So who knows if he's gotten moved, because how would any of us know? Like, they could have temporarily removed him. He could be he could be back at CCOT. Like, we really don't know. Like, we really don't know what the situation is. And President Bukele, he doesn't owe Americans people he doesn't have to answer to anyone over here. So, hey, Britt, welcome. You speak truth. You got a new sub. Thank you so much, Britt. Sometimes in a lot of situations, we got to be able to read between the lines and pick up what's not being said. And I feel like when it comes to the situation with the wife, we very much so have to do that. Because when we learn about the history between she and her husband, it makes sense it makes sense for her to not want him to be around her and her son. It makes sense, because would you, as a mother, let me tell y'all about one of the details of the domestic situation that's in the documents. Hold on, let me get my charger. I don't want my phone to die. Hold on. How a mother wants to protect her child. So in the paperwork, one of the details, the first incident that she reported when he assaulted her, she says she was at home on her laptop in the bed. The baby was in the bed with her, laying on the side of her. I guess he comes into the room. He tells her to turn off her laptop to go to bed. She responds, "I'm not tired." He takes the laptop, y'all, and throw it. Just tear the laptop up. He throw it. And then in the midst of that, I guess, they were on the same bed together. The baby was like in between them. And he starts leaning and putting pressure on the baby. And the baby starts to cry. So she's been a protector, a mama. She's trying to kind of get him off the baby. And that's when he strikes her and he hits her. And she starts bleeding. That's the first report. So you mean to tell me this woman right here want that man back at home with her? Make it make sense. So she went and reported him. Then the second incident, I think she reported him like twice within like 30 days. They got into it. She took off running in the hallway trying to go hide in the bathroom. He caught up to her, laid hands on her a second time. This information is in the paper, the police report. Like, this information is documented. She requested for a restraining order, rightfully so, but she never showed up to the court date. Had she shown up to the court date, she would have gotten a restraining order. And if he had violated it, he could have been locked up. But she did not follow through. The question is why? Why didn't she follow through? 77 people, 77 likes. Why didn't she follow through? She did not follow through. How often does that happen? So you mean to tell me this same woman, I done ran down these two incidents of him putting hands and feet on her. You mean to tell me that this woman want this man at home with her and her child? Please. Please. Ask a woman. Men, ask a woman. She be like, nah, what? Like, she ain't saying it, but as a woman, yeah. Kim said he probably told her, if you show up, I'll unalive you. Remember, I say the most dangerous times to leave a domestic situation. The most dangerous time is when a person tries to leave. That's the most dangerous time. People that lose their lives when they're in domestic situations is lost when they're trying to leave. And he says, why hasn't MSNBC or CNN reported anything? That's the thing. These networks, that's why I listen to different news outlets, because I know a lot of the larger networks, they don't always report the news. They're very biased, whereas like a content creator such as myself or someone else that's not backed by a network, we just report the information out there. It's not like, okay, we're swayed one way or the other. We're just putting it out there. Some of you all, a lot of you all may be new to my channel, but those of you who've watched my content before, you know I bring information that's favorable and non-favorable to the Trump administration. I just bring the information and we talk about it. That's what I do. But a lot of these, like the large platforms, they don't do that. They are very selective on what they want to talk about, how much they want to go into. I'm just going to tell it. Listen, we just talk about it over here. I share the news. That's why when people, try to encourage me to go into politics, this is why I do not want to go into politics. Because I understand the bias. I understand it can be biased when you're working for these networks. You work for them, so you have to speak a certain way. You have to cover the news a certain way. Whether you believe it or not, that's not the point, because that's your employer. They're paying your salary. That's not my situation. So that's why I can come out here and report on the news that many of you may not hear elsewhere. That's why I like rolling solo dolo, regardless on how small my channel is, because I'm in control. It's not someone telling me what to say, how to say it. However y'all hear me say it, I'm saying it how I want to say it. I'm not influenced by anyone. So I like that, and I do not want to move away from that, because it's going to just, I'm going to feel like I'm compromising who I am, and that's just not me. So I'm just going to be on my little channel. Let me like, share, subscribe to Chic Speaks on it. Like, share, and subscribe. Hey, what's up, Patra? How you doing? Welcome. Like, share, and subscribe. So listen, so if you're interested in hearing about the latest centered around politics in the USA, worldwide news, subscribe to the channel. I promise you, you're going to hear it in a way that you ain't never heard it before. I deliver the news very different. It's very different over here. But I'm not lying either. You can count on it being truthful news as well. I'm just going to kick it to you in a real way, a way to where you can understand it and understand what's going on. Because a lot of times people don't really understand. Like, damn, they saying this, but I don't really understand. So I work to understand, so therefore I can come out here to explain it to you all, to drive it home. So that's what, sets me apart from the next content creator. Let's see. Breaker Main says, that's not how that works, but you don't get a due process if you're not an American citizen. Done and done. Anthony Alexander said, you should be radio nationally speaking your own voice. Thank you so much. If I can't speak my own voice, then I don't want no parts of it. Mimi says, hi girl, just joining. What was the last thing you spoke on? I was speaking on a break. What's his name? Kilmar Garcia, the guy who's in prison in El Salvador, and his wife, and the abuse allegations. She had filed for a restraining order against him in like 2021, after there were two police reports that she made on him assaulting her, physically assaulting her. And yes, so she requests for a restraining order, but it wasn't granted only because she did not show up to court. She didn't show up to court, so the restraining order was not granted. And yeah, he's locked away. He's in El Salvador. So I truly believe in my heart of heart that his wife does not want him to come home. She's just not saying that. True news. True one said true news. True news. I like that. Patrick said, how can we survive this mess? For one, you have to be tapped in. You got to be aware. So you got to know what's going on. So you can, stand abreast with the news. And because that's a starting point for you to know how to move accordingly. You got to be aware, and a lot of people aren't even aware of what's going on in this world. So start there, because as you start to learn about the different things that are taking place, from there you can start to think about, okay, your next move. What's going to be the next move for you and your family. But you got to know what's going on, and you want to make sure you know what's going on before it's too late. So find, your news outlets each day. Check in, like, because I do commentary YouTube content centered around the political scene, every day I'm like seeing what's going on, because it's my channel, it's the content I put out. So that's how I'm able to probably be on top of it more than probably the average person or most people, just because of me being a content creator. But for those of you who are not content creators, if you have a favorite content creator, tap into them regularly to see what they're putting out there, what information is out there. And so when you are tapping in with these people, engage in the chat, listen to what people are saying in the comments, because you can probably learn how to move based off of the information that's being shared. Everyone's kind of tapping in, bouncing things off of one another. It's like a community. Because a lot of what's going on is bigger than, like, it's like you can't do it by yourself. And there are a lot of people who like, yo, I ain't got nobody. I'm just by myself. I don't have family. I don't have a support system. So if you find your tribe, many of you may find your tribe on the internet. You won't feel alone, so alone. So that's a start. That's a start. Dee Dee says, Sheik, have you heard about anyone else who was deported without all the information, supposedly? No, but I started this live out talking about 27 people who were in New York who were recently arrested and charged with the RICO. Let me see. Where my notes at? Let me do a recap on that, because that's what I kind of opened my live with, talking about that. So let me get my notes on that one. So there were 27 illegal immigrants indicted in New York, and they were part of the Tren de Agua gang. 6 of them are still out there. And the charges they were hit with RICO, sex trafficking, drug trafficking, murder for hire. They seized a lot of weapons, and they rescued victims of sex trafficking. So ICE is wanting to go inside of Rikers, because they want to go in there to go ahead and pick up, get access to the illegal immigrants so they can try to work to get them on out of here. Just remove them from because right now our tax money, we're paying for that. So they're like, yo, let's just get them on out of here, free them beds up, that space up for, people, American citizens who may rightfully need to be there. Because right now, just a lot of places, it's just overpopulated. So Mayor Adams signed an executive order to allow for ICE agents to go inside of Rikers. But the city council has filed a lawsuit to stop ICE from going inside of Rikers. So right now, the Trump administration, ICE, they're waiting for a judge to preside over the situation to determine if whether or not they can go into to go into Rikers Island, to determine if ICE can go into Rikers Island to get these illegal immigrants. Now the border Caesar, Tom Holman's like, yo, like we're okay with allowing for them to finish out their sentence while they're at Rikers, but we want access to them after they complete that sentence. So therefore we can send them back to where they came from, send them back home. Like how they're saying Kilmar Garcia is home because El Salvador technically is his home. They're like, yo, these people that are at Rikers, we want to send them home too. Listen, we trying to send everybody home. Everybody needs to go home. Everybody needs to go back to home. That's what they're trying to do. Dorothy of Wizard of Oz, there's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. Listen, Tom Holman said there is no place like home. These folks need to go home. They need to go home. But these judges are halting it. So it's putting a roadblock in the Trump administration as they're trying to apprehend these people and get them on out of here. It's almost like it's a bottleneck because they're getting them off the streets, but they can't send them home. They're having to stay in these detention centers, and it's not enough room to just keep housing them in these detention centers. So right now there are contracts out there where people are getting contracts for detention centers and making millions, billions of dollars from that's the new investment, detention centers, because the government needs detention centers to house these illegal immigrants. So you got now people who are going into the business of operating detention centers because they're getting the government funding. It's like a contract. If you open up, so you get you a little building, get you some beds, call it a detention center. Now you getting that government funding. That is basically what's happening right now. That's like the new plug. Get the government funding for the detention center. This is what I learned over the weekend during my research. I didn't come out and do an in-depth live about it. But yes, it's lots of money right now. Like it's a lot of money being made by people who are operating, opening up these detention centers. Look into that. Go to the internet. It's the new, y'all remember there, not years ago, it was always talking about like prisons being like the money, like the investment into prisons, how people will invest in prisons and want to have prisons and operate because of the money associated with the prisons, the free labor, all of that. Well, the new thing is now the detention centers. The new thing is the detention centers. And since Trump has been in office, they've arrested roughly 68,000 illegal immigrants. And some of them are currently in the detention centers, and some of them have been on a plane and shipped up out of here. And they say they are still going to continue to arrest illegal immigrants, regardless if they are unable to send them back home right now. But they said they're going to arrest them. So therefore, I think they're banking on winning in the courts and being able to send them back home. So they're like, well, we're going to still be picking them up. So therefore, when the judge and when everything come out and say, okay, bet Trump, you could go ahead and proceed, they'll already have them in custody, and all they got to do is just put them on planes. That's their plan. That's the plan. And so I said, they are going to Guantanamo Bay. Basically, if these countries don't want to accept their citizens, then this is where CCOT comes in, or Guantanamo Bay. And some of these places, he ain't even really even trying to send them back home because he feel like they just gonna make their way back here. So he's like, you know what? You just going straight to CCOT because I ain't even finna play with you because I know you finna wind up right back here next week. Crazy, yo. So that is on that. That's what's going on here. That's what's going on. It's real out here. It's real. It's real. So they're strongly encouraging for people to self-deport if you are here illegally. They're wanting people to self-deport. And then, did you all know there's like an app associated with self-deportation? So like when you get to like, so say if El Salvador is your home and you get there, you like self-deported, you just went ahead, got you a little plane ticket, your little one-way Spirit flight, and you back home. You can get on the app and report it and say, hey, my name is Carlos Rodriguez. I am now back in El Salvador. And then ICE will basically like check your name off the list. And they said they'll stop looking for you. They won't be trying to holler, talk with your family or nothing like that. That's still here. They just going to move on. That's what they said. Because if you self-deport, you can come back like rightfully. But from what I've learned, if they have to remove you up out of here, then it's like you're forfeiting the opportunity to like come back. Like, even if it's the right way, it's like you're forfeiting the opportunity. So it's best if you leave on your own and then come back. Because if they have to send you back, then it's almost like you forfeit that opportunity to come back. That is my understanding of what's happening with that. So it's best for people to just make the decision to proactively leave on their own. Especially if you know you ain't been on the up and up and you are at risk of being sent to CCOT. If you are at risk of being sent to Guantanamo Bay, CCOT, like, it's best that you, like, leave on your own. And a lot of people have self-deported. So some people are leaving on their own. But it's a lot that aren't. As of right now, the kids that are born here, they're able to legally be here. But on May 15th, the Supreme Court will be reviewing the case centered around birthright citizenship. Because I think it's Amendment 14 that currently says, or based off of the interpretation of most people, is that, like, the interpretation is that if you're born here in the U.S., you're automatically a U.S. citizen, regardless of the citizenship status of your parent. So right now, babies are legally here, are here legally if they're born here. But Trump wants to change that law. So on May 15th, the Supreme Court will review that case and then, decide on it. So sometime during the summer, we should learn if there's going to be a change to that law or if it's going to stay as is. But as of right now, today, the kids are legal. You know, they're able to stay here. Patrick says, say the parents are deported, but they are, say the parents are deported, but they are citizens. Yeah, as of right now, that's the case. The parents aren't, and they can get deported, but the kids are citizens, so they can find somebody to take on the responsibility of them. Thank you so much for child. Yeah, send them kids back to their parents who told them to cross the border illegal and alone. A lot of the kids came with adults or parents, but then a lot of them came illegally and alone. So Dark Eyes Entertainment said we need a new amendment. Well, the Supreme Court is going to rule on it very soon. So May is going to be a busy month. May 5th, y'all, listen, y'all got y'all student loans caught up, because May 5th, you're going to have to start back, paying for those student loans if you are in default. The Trump administration will be coming for you, and that could mean garnishment of wages. So basically them proactively taking out theirs out of your paycheck. And it could also mean defaults being reported on your credit. So it's a lot. It's going down in May, as if it hasn't been going down in January, February, and March, April. It's going down. Let's just say it's going to continue to go down. How about that? It's going to continue to go down. So let's see, something else. I think May 7th is a deadline. So if you're in the U.S., you need to have the real ID. The real ID means that your ID, your driver's license, has a star in the top right-hand corner. If you do not have the real ID, you will not be able to fly in the U.S. You will not be able to fly out of the U.S. airports. So make sure your driver's license, your ID is up to date. You should have a gold or a black star in the upper right-hand corner on your driver's license. If you do not have a star on your driver's license and you are a U.S. citizen, you will need to go to the local DMV, driving motor vehicles office, and get an updated driver's license. And you'll probably likely leave with a temporary paper document saying that, your real one is going to come in the mail. But if you do not have that real ID by May 7th and you're planning to travel, you will not be able to travel outside of the U.S. airport. Now, just navigating in these American streets, you'll be able to, pull out your ID, the old one. But when it comes to flying, for now, it seems like you need the real ID. So don't get caught out there where you at the airport and you pulled out your ID and they were like, well, we can't accept this one, and you looking crazy, you looking confused, because I done told you. So you need to get the real ID. Google it if you're not sure what that is. So if you want to see what it looks like, but ask your people if they got the real ID, because the deadline is quickly approaching to have the real ID in the USA. Anthony Alexander said, with proof of citizenship to get real ID. So, yeah, it's a lot. So it's just about being informed, because it's a lot going on. It's just about being informed. The more you know, right? The more you know, the better off you are. The more you know, the better off you are. So just try to, do your own research. You can listen to your favorite content creators, but do your own research as well. See what's popping off. Get on the internet. Get online. See what they saying. Virtue said, I renewed mine in February and they automatically gave me the new ID. I didn't ask. Yes, I didn't even know there was a new ID. I got the ID I got it in 2018 when I moved to my house where I live now. And I didn't know that it was basically the real ID. And then when my mom, a year or so ago, started telling me about the updated ID you needed, I pulled out my driver's license and saw that I had it. So I'm thinking sometime back in probably 2017, 2018 is probably when they started handing them out to people when they were getting their IDs updated. But anyone probably like maybe prior to then probably don't have the real ID and would need to get the real ID. So just make sure you ain't caught slipping. Patrick said, I had a real ID and passport, came back from France. I saw a brown woman who already came through America Customs get pulled aside and questioned. Yeah. They're really heavily questioning you. Like, my mom's friend had went to her home country, Grenada, and she was there for like a month. And she said when she came through the airport, they questioned her like very aggressively about like why she was like where she was at, like what are you doing here, why, and all of that. Now mind you, remember I said she'd been there for like a month, so she wasn't aware of like all that was going on here with a lot of this stuff centered around immigration, because she had been gone and she was just busy and not tapped into the news like that like she normally would be had she been here in, you know, in the US. So she was in the, you know, her home country, Grenada, handling business, just not tapped in with just what's going on with news. So when she got back, my mother was telling her about what's been going on. And she's like, oh my, it makes sense why they were so aggressive with me, with questioning me, like why I was in Grenada. Like she was like, they was just really aggressive with it. So now the lady's like afraid to make another trip back to her home country because she's in the process with wanting to like have a home built there and stuff. So she would have to be kind of going back and forth. But now she was like, she's afraid to go back again because they're questioning a lot of people heavy that aren't like, especially if you weren't born in the US and you're here on some type of other type, you know, just, you know, you're documented because she's documented, but she's still, you know, her documents show she's not in America, you know, she wasn't born in the US. So she's getting questioned in a way, probably more so than I would. So yeah. So be careful for those of you who are traveling when you're going in and out of these countries, because they are monitoring how frequently you're traveling. They're trying to figure out, what you doing? Why you moving around so much? What you don't want to do, you don't want to mess around and get stuck somewhere. You don't want to do that. So as I talk about having the real ID, make sure that you have all your ducks in a row before you travel so you don't have them kind of problems when you go through the airport. That's just not what you want. It's already rough enough going through the airport, especially where my airport in Atlanta, Hartsfield International Airport, is like the largest airport, the busiest international airport in the US here. So it's crazy. So you don't want to add that on top of all the other shenanigans that you got to deal with while traveling through the Atlanta airport. So that's on that. So look online. If you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, it's called the Real ID. See what it looks like. And share that information with whoever you know, so everyone to kind of have their ducks in a row come. I think someone says the deadline is May 7th, but it's coming up. It's countdown. So you got Cinco de Mayo, May 5th, student loans, and then May 7th, the whole Real ID. So those are two big days that are coming up centered around just changes. They're two big, huge days centered around changes. Change is inevitable. So you just have to learn how to student spot. I thought you left. What, you came back? Yes, like the student loans, that's what I said, Paul. Like, oh my God. They were like, listen, y'all ain't paid no student loans in a year or more. Many of y'all haven't paid student loans since 2020 when they got put on pause during the pandemic. So yeah, student loan forgiveness is not a real thing. Basically, that's just moving that bill to somebody else is basically what the government is saying. So they're like, leave the idea, go move past the idea of your student loans being forgiven. They are your loans. You need to start having conversations with the, with whoever. I'm back. My phone overheated. Can you all hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. I need to end this live. Can y'all hear me? Or is it Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Yes, thanks. My phone overheated, so I had to cool it off. I'll probably be ending the live soon, but yeah, my phone overheated. I had it on the charger. Yeah, it's a pretty warm day. Thank you. So yeah, it's just a lot of changes going on. I just want you all to just know like what's going on. So that's what I pretty much go live just about every day. As of late, I've been going live twice a day, but I just try to stay abreast with all the things that are going on so I can share it with you all. Definitely like, share, and subscribe. Become a political honor student. I affectionately refer to my subscribers as honor students because we are lifetime learners, and it's about learning, elevating, asking questions, asking all them questions. It's about asking questions and not being led, you know, just being sheep. We seek out the information. That's what we do over here. That's what we do over here. Mr. Andrew said Holman is right. So become an honor student. Just subscribe to the channel. You can become a member to get priority. Your comments read, shout outs, things like that. When you send comments or when you make a comment, or your name will be in color. If you are a political honor student, your name will be in color, and it's $2.99 a month. I just launched my membership over the weekend. I think on Sunday, Easter Sunday, I launched the membership. So go ahead and be an early bird. Get the early bird $2.99 special. I call it the Temu special. We got $2.99. I got the Temu prices for my membership. It's just one tier right now, $2.99. So go ahead and join the tribe. Super chat, if you want to just send a super chat, you can put your comment in that as well, starting at $1.99. Doesn't matter. Color in the chat allows for your name comment to pop, and it'll stand out, because a lot of time I get lots of comments. Today wasn't that crazy of a day, but child, listen, it can get crazy over here. It can be thousands of comments in the chat. It can be thousands of people coming through. It can get, so tonight, it's 52 of you here. It's not 200, 352 of you here. So the numbers can kind of get crazy like that. So it just depends on what I'm talking about, the time of the day. So if you come back and you like, what the, and because you see it's so crazy busy over here, it gets like that. But I do appreciate these calm lives when it's not a whole lot of people in here, and I feel like I can kind of get through comments easier and kind of interact with you all easier when it's not like a crazy amount of number of you all in here, because my moms know, listen, it get crazy and they gotta get to removing. We got a lot of trolls, more people, more trolls. It's just insane. It is insane, but we have a good time over here. We vibe. We are the honor students. I have an awesome, amazing moderators. Welcome back, Virtuous Woman. Dr. J. Just Say When made you proud. They was getting them on out of here. I shared the message, the memo you left me on how to handle them trolls, and they have understood the assignment. They have understood the assignment. So welcome back, and I thank you for holding down the chat. Just Say When said, oh, she ain't said nothing but a word. She was getting them out of here like she was you. Her and Dr. J was getting them on out of here. They said, Bertrude, you been holding out. You should have told them that. Gave them instructions a long time ago. Going forward, any new mods that come through, Virtuous, you is the team lead. You is the trainer. You get them together. You send them through training. Anthony, you say you did well. You are fair and balanced. Thank you. Thank you so much. Virtuous says, I love them both. They love you too. Thank you so much. And that's what I try to do. I just try to I'm just a balanced person. So any kind of content that I've covered, I've been on YouTube for like some years. This channel is only 7 months old, but I have another channel that I started in 2020 that have a couple of thousands, about 2,300 subscribers over there. This channel has now outgrown that channel. So this was my small channel, but now it's my larger channel. I spend more time now on this channel because I do my political commentary on this channel. But I try to be fair and balanced. You all drop a comment, be active in the chat, be a part of the replay gang. If you ever do miss my lives, it supports me in the channel. Basically, content creators, we benefit from you all watching the content, watching all or most of the content as much as you can. That's how we benefit. And that's how you can show support, by simply watching the content, you know, and, you know, liking the video. It helps with the algorithm when you like the video. So therefore reach more people. So yeah, so I appreciate each and every one of you. Happy hump day. I like to say, take care of yourselves and one another. Show up in the world in the way in which you want others to show up for you. Like attracts like. Like attracts like. Give off good energy. Guess what you're gonna get? Good energy. Simple as that. Kilmar. Simple as that, Kilmar. Prayer do work. That wife then praise you right on up out of here. She done prayed you right up on out of here. She was a praying woman. She was a praying woman. How are you? I'm well. Miss Garcia was a praying woman, y'all. Val said, where he belongs with a Z. Where he belongs. Tom Holman saying, y'all don't be asking, talking about that man need to come home. He is home. He is. That is where he's at. He is. He's home. Like Dorothy said, there's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There is no place like home. I had a good time with y'all per usual. Thank you for y'all who showed up and showed out with me on this live. Today in the Chick-fil-A parking lot. Normally I do like a the car chronicles. I'm driving everything, but y'all, I had these notes. I said, I need to get into these notes to give y'all the tea, so y'all know. Even though folks still want to be act delulu and act like that, I done damn pulled it from off of the Chick-fil-A menu. The stuff that I came on here saying, I promise you, it's real. Look it up. I challenge you. Anything that I say on here, go fact check it. Go fact it. Mary Bias says Americans need to be. Oh, okay. Well, there went that. Welcome back, Virtuous. Welcome back, Virtuous. Listen, Virtuous, you was gone. We was reading comments and everything. It's so funny. My husband be like, well, I got the word I out. That was about it. That was about all I seen. I be like, listen, it just wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be read. Virtuous said, you don't need to see all that. Don't worry, I got you. It wasn't nothing. Keep going, boo. No need to hold up the show for that nonsense. Dr. J said, Virtuous, I'm out for 3 other channels. Trolls are plentiful and live. Dr. J, your nerves must be real good. I have never moderated for anyone's channel before. And when I see what y'all do, I'm like, listen, y'all do what y'all need to do. Y'all do what y'all need to do, because I cannot, You keep your head up. Y'all do what y'all need to do. But with that being said, y'all like, share, subscribe, stay tuned. I will likely be back live again sometime tomorrow. I don't typically schedule my lives. I usually just go live. That's just the type of time I am. Listen. So that's where I'm at in this season in my life. I'm just listen. I'm out here on a wing and a prayer. Rizza says, how many men mods are there? Rizza, I don't have any male mods. Rizza, you want to be a male mod? I don't have any male mods. I just got my 3 ladies. Like, listen, the ladies just holding it down. Dr. J, Virtuous Woman, and Just Say When. And they be holding it down. They infamous. People come up and be like, Chic Moms, they don't play no games. They don't play no games. Person said, we holding it down. They hold it down. And I'm appreciative of it because sometimes you're like, they be working. I don't know if Brizzy, you've been over here at the times when it's gotten crazy and it's like thousands of people. It gets crazy over here, you all. Today's a light day. Roll to 3,000. Yes. What my numbers looking like, Dr. J? Where my numbers at? What my numbers looking like? Roll to 3,000. It was like just yesterday when I was saying roll to 1,000. RZA says we're going to have to do something about that. Equal opportunity. All right, then. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. RZA, welcome to the gang. Listen, RZA. Step to the front of the congregation, RZA. RZA said, wait a daggone minute. Wait on that. Wait now. we equal opportunists over here. We equal opportunists over here. Listen, Linda, listen. We just 20. Oh my, 26. Wow. Yeah, it was like at 25 or something, I think, when I came on live. So we are growing rapidly, very rapidly. We are growing, and I am definitely grateful. I am grateful to each and every one of you who watch my content, my mods, those of you who support. We've been working at it. I come live pretty often. I've been very, very consistent as I cover this content, and it's paid off. And listen, hard work pays off, right? Hard work pays off. And my mods, you know, they're day ones. They've been riding for me. RZA says that I love my first job. Welcome, RZA. RZA been rocking with me the last several lives. He's always active in my chat. So definitely happy to have you on board. Happy to have you on board. Welcome. I like your energy. I like you, RZA. So I'm definitely, RZA, where are you located? What state, time zone, where are you located? Where are you located? Email me. Ladies, can one of you drop my email address in the description? You can email me if you have any questions about anything, anytime about my content or direction centered around the channel. Send me an email, chicspeakslive@gmail.com. And yeah, send me an email. Like I said, I go live just about every day. I do the Car Chronicles typically in the AM. This week I did Milwaukee, Wisconsin Central Time. Okay, so I'm in Georgia. So you're just, what, an hour maybe behind me. So awesome. Welcome. Nice to have you. So listen, we got a king. We got our 3 queens and we got our king. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you so much, Virtuous Woman. Yes, so Virtuous Woman, this is my lead of my moderators. So my mods follow suit. We don't play no games over here. We get them up out of here. We don't play no games. And what that means is no disrespect. We do not tolerate the disrespect of yours truly or any of my moderators, or just within the chat, just people just being disrespectful. We just listen. Act like you got some sense. It ain't that deep. We move, listen. Act like you know. It's that simple. It is that simple. Just act like you know. But we are growing. It gets crazy. So yes, having another hand on deck. RZA, Virtuous is real. Yeah, Virtuous is very quick. She'll delete a comment. She'll delete 3 comments to your 1. She'll delete like 3 to your 1. That's what Just Win says. Yeah, when I'm deleting 1, Virtuous probably got 3 up out of there. So, yes, 8 seconds. Listen. She don't play no games. So, my other mods, they don't play either. We run a tight ship over here. But we have a good time, and it's just about respect. Put some respect on it. It's about respect. Riza says, I told a few people already. I told them a few people already. Like you said, listen, if you're going over the Chic platform, act like you got some sense. Because virtuous Dr. J, she real sweet. Dr. J gonna greet you. She gonna say, hey, baby, what's your name? Welcome. But at the same time, she'll get you out of there, too. With a smile. With a smile. With a smile. Trump 2025. What's up? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Double tap the screen. Like the video. Road to 3,000 subscribers. You all, I've been working. I work hard for you all to bring the news to you. And I am very, very grateful for you coming and rocking with me, checking out the content. Eric says, oh, man, just came on. I hope I didn't miss much to the best. Hey, what's up, Eric? Eric, another writer. Yeah, Eric, you missed a lot. Eric, you know I be going in. Eric, you know I be going in. My phone had overheated and everything. Now it just turned red. It's about to die. Be a part of the replay gang. You gonna have to, Eric. You gonna have to. You know I be talking. It's already been 135 minutes. Be a part of the replay gang. If you're not getting the notifications, refresh the notification bell. I will likely be back live again tomorrow. It'll probably be my daughter does soccer at 6 o'clock on Thursday, so I'll probably go live around 6 o'clock while she's at soccer practice. So stay tuned. Be ready. 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you don't want to miss it, because y'all know it ain't nothing like a live. But definitely be a part of the replay gang. You all comment on the videos. Let me know how you feel about, listen, are you like Kilmar is at home? Because Border Caesar Tom Holman said, listen, that man is at home. He is at home. El Salvador is his home. He is at home. Tom Holman said he is at home. Stay tuned. Damn, these oxtails took up my time. I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm gonna be back on here tomorrow. Not the oxtail. Life's about choices. Y'all think Kilmar got oxtails at Seacott? Y'all think Seacott got oxtails? Y'all think Seacott got oxtails? I told y'all they get 3 meals. Y'all think Easter Sunday they had oxtails? I'm just saying. Because when I seen Kilmar last week, he was still chunky. He didn't have the Obama snatch waist yet. So I'm like, okay, I don't know what meal plan he was on. He ain't been there that long. Maybe he ain't been there long enough. Because he was still thick in the waist. Kilmar was still thick in the waist over the weekend. Kyle says, what would you do for a sub? Dr. J said, they are so expensive. Oxtails for the win. So, listen, I'm going to stop playing with y'all. My phone about to die. Y'all know I am not above my phone dying on y'all. Like, it's like equivalent to the phone just hanging up on y'all. Sometimes I can come back and officially say bye, and other times, listen, it is what it is. So on that note, y'all all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Eric said, got me something to tell, but I don't know if it's from the ox. Listen, Eric, stop playing. Oh my God, I'm not playing with y'all. Let me get off this phone before it just hang up on y'all. I gotta go. Happy day. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next live. Oh, y'all. Join the membership, $2.99. I got the Temu prices, $2.99. Join the membership. You can send a super chat. Check out some of my Amazon, my products on Amazon for my mental health books. I have coloring books, notebooks, journals, things like that. So check it out. You can find the links on my previously posted videos or my community tab. They're on Prime. Products range from $5.99 to $7.99. So check me out. I will catch you all on the next broadcast. Peace.